One of the big appeals for reading comic books or playing video games or watching movies or TV shows or reading books or anything where you get to see your favorite characters doing things or living out their lives or doing whatever situation it is you're watching or reading, one of the big appeals of it is finding ways to really relate to those characters. You know, we'll see a character and we may like them so much that we start to want to really relate to them. We want to understand them. We want to be able to get them. To be like, oh, this character is going through this thing. I go through that thing. I totally understand what he's going through. One of the things for me is with the 12th Doctor, I'm really relating to his grumpiness and moodiness. I love that. I love that it's flawed. I love that he's not just nice and heroic. He's very dark and very grumpy, very unapologetic, and I can really relate to that. But sometimes you don't have characters that you can really relate to. Or at least it's not something that other people can relate to. Sure, you know, Captain America, totally fit, handsome guys can totally relate to Captain America. I can't. I understand in Winter Soldier his inner turmoil and the things that he has to decide and think about, but I can't really relate to them as much as I would want to. Same with any of the Avengers. I don't really relate to any of them. I love them. I think they're great. But, I mean, there may be a few small things that'll be like, oh, I can relate to that. Thor likes coffee. I like coffee. More! Sometimes trying to find that relation is kind of forced. Recently, I read an article about a young boy with autism who saw Guardians of the Galaxy. And he saw Drax, and Drax does not understand metaphors. His race is completely literal, and the kid was so excited about this because of his autism, because of the way he sees the world. He doesn't really get metaphor or sarcasm or anything like that. He's pretty literal, and he totally related with that, and Drax just became his hero. He learned everything he could about Drax. He read up on him. He was Drax was his guy. And we're not saying Drax was autistic, but the kid was able to relate to that aspect that a lot of people don't really get to do. And it really made me think about it. You know, there's always the call for more black superheroes or Mexican or Chinese or just any or more ethnic superheroes aside from just the stereotypical white guy who's a superhero, or for more female superheroes or more homosexual superheroes or whatever superheroes or characters that have more defining traits that that others can relate with. And for the longest time, whenever someone would bring up that argument, I would say, it doesn't matter. It's a superhero. Just enjoy it. You know, just enjoy the story. Don't worry about if this character is like you or not, or if there's not enough characters like that. And after I read the article about the autistic boy, I really started to think. And I kind of envied the kid, that he was able to find a hero that he related to so well that he was able to make him his own hero. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, I don't have a hero like that. You know, a big, burly, but intellectual hero. I mean, I have Beast, and Beast has always been one of my favorites from X-Men because he was this big monster guy, but he was also a complete intellectual. But, you know, most of the fat heroes or the chubby, out-of-shape heroes, they're not heroes because they're out of shape. Sorry. But wanting that connection with a hero is kind of a big deal. In the last expansion for World of Warcraft, Myths of Pandaria, they introduced the Pandarians as a race. They're basically humanoid pandas. That's basically what they are. They're humanoid pandas. I was so excited for this that I was just elated. I could not wait to play a panda. Not because it being a panda, and I love pandas because pandas are adorable. Seriously, have you seen pandas? They're freaking adorable. Go look at baby pandas. Go do it. They're adorable. But because this was a character who was fat, and openly fat, and always eating, and always drinking, and just the character of him, I really related with the race. Not so much the Asian aspects of it, but the, you know, the food and the fat, and, you know, when they jump they jiggle and all these other things, and I really related with that. And I remember and reading about the autistic kid with Drax, it really made me remember how I felt when I had the Pandarans and had that fat hero. So now I have, you know, a fat character that I can play that I can really relate to, that totally I make look like me as much as I can. And it's a great feeling to have that hero that is so close to an aspect of yourself that instead of trying to find whatever little detail you can in whatever your favorite hero is, you find it because that hero is more or less closer to you than you are to him. And it's a good feeling. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I've been wrong. Having characters that are a lot like you and that are relatable to you is a big deal. So for people calling for more female superheroes or more homosexual superheroes or more diversity in superheroes or characters, period, keep wanting it. Keep asking for it. It's a great feeling, and no one should be denied that. So yeah, I was definitely wrong in saying it's not a big deal, because it really is. It was a bigger deal to me than I thought, and I didn't take the rest of it into account. So let me know what you think. What heroes do you identify with? Or what heroes can you relate to? And who are some of your favorite heroes, and what do you relate to about them? You know, you may not be rich and orphaned and moody like Batman, but there might be little things you find in Batman's characters that you can really relate to. Honestly, in the Batman world, I've always loved Jim Gordon. He's always been one of my favorite characters. That's why I named my dog Gordon. Also because he has a white mustache, he totally looks like Commissioner Gordon. I'll show you him. You've seen him. I'll show you him again later. But Gordon was the very moral character. He was morally good. You know, he, like in No Man's Land, he kind of diverted from that just a tiny bit. But for the most part, he's been the White Knight. He's been the morally good character, and I totally related with that aspect of him, because as much as I try to do, I try to be a good person. I try to, you know, be morally good and do what I think is right. So I really got that. So in the Batman universe, Gordon was my character. So what other characters do you identify with? What aspects in a superhero would you like to see? What other diversities and things like that would you like to see in heroes from now on? So let me know in the comments, talk to me on Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos of me. So check back later and we can geek out some more. Have fun.